We are good to go. You sound good. All right, so now we're gonna do a sort of fake introduction, right? So everybody behind me. Yeah, just gonna do a.
When you're saying
walk in. And
oh,
hey,
okay,
okay. All right, and action.
Leon, good to see you. How you doing?
Good.
hey, it's good to see you again.
All right, get right into it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we wanted to meet you here at the George Fletcher statue just because it's a significant piece of just Black Oregon history. But we talked about when we were here before, and I just wanted you to talk one about the significance of George Fletcher, period, but also to your family in particular.
Well, he was my dad's friend, and he had a cabin up at Meacham, and that's where we'd go and hunt. I was young, little kid, but he used to never get upset about anything. I mean, he went through quite a bit, and so I think that I just knew him as George.
And you say he went through quite a bit. Can you talk a little about what were some of the things he had to deal with?
Well, he won the all-around roundup there, but the judges gave it to somebody else. But the crowd, he was the crowd's favorite. So the crowd took his hat and cut it up, and he got more money for the hat pieces than the winner got that won the event.
Would you say George Fletcher was part of the reason that inspired you to get into cowboy culture?
I was no. Kathleen she's a barrel racer, and she lives in Hermiston, and we went to high school together. She's 6 days older than me, and so we both turned 70 last month. And she has a couple of horses over in Hermiston, and I was living over there for a while, but then when I moved back here, it was just completely different.
So when did you come to Pendleton? Were you born in Pendleton?
No, I was born in Springfield, Illinois. I came to Pendleton when I was 6 months old. My parents were on their way from Mississippi. They're from Inverness, Mississippi. And my dad went to work on the railroad, so Pendleton was the end of the line.
So that was like the Great Migration stories.
Yeah.
And can you just talk about what life was like during those early days growing up in Pendleton?
Well, I didn't. As a kid, you don't really notice anything. I mean, I played sports and was fortunate. I played on the Shrine football team, and I rodeoed a little bit. But Kathleen was a big rodeoer. She barrel raced and did all those things.
So, yeah, can you just talk a little bit more about, I guess, like the roundup is obviously a very big thing here and part of like the culture here. Can you just talk about, just in general, like cowboy culture in Pendleton?
Well, I think the cowboy culture here is just good. They're just good old boys, And I grew up with most of them, and so I know them and they know me, and I didn't have much problem here. My mom was into it a lot more than my dad. My dad wasn't too much into it. There wasn't that many blacks at that time, but now there's a lot more blacks that live here now than I don't even know them all.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking the last time, you talked about just like, it's the good old boy culture, but like one, they know you, but also, you kind of like figured out how to deal with them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't. If you're mad, my mom used to tell us you got to be fighting all the time, and so you just have to pick your battles. And most of them, they mean well, most of them, but I don't think that they're really white people. Period. Understand the black culture and how far they've come to be where they are now, and they have to. It's an education process the whole time. You're here all the time.
And I didn't realize when we first talked with you, that was the year that this statue actually went up. I think in 2014, right?
Yeah.
Have you noticed like any, just as far as like awareness of George Fletcher's story around here, like has it, you feel like it's grown significantly since then?
Well, I think that they there's an underground here. They call it the underground, and there's a tour. They go over a tour of the underground cities that are here. What goes underground, and I think that they've changed a lot. Yeah, I mean, how much I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in that younger generation anymore, and so I don't really. We just ride horses and just living life.
What are some of your like most treasured sort of accomplishments of your life in Pendleton? Like, what are the things you're most proud of?
Yeah, how'd you get that belt?
She won it. She won the buckle. I played on the Shrine football team, and I played 1 year in high school football. I was they just kept begging me to go out and play, and so I played. And then I made the Shrine team and went to Portland. And they got that Shrine All-Star team that's every year. Ricky Eatman, do you know? Have you heard of him?
I haven't heard of Ricky.
He's from Portland. He was I mean, I read about all these black athletes down there, and up here it wasn't. I was probably one of 3 or 4 blacks that participated in sports, and so you just knew everybody. But it was different. I don't know how. I can't say it was bad because I've been very fortunate here.
I imagine this, going into Portland with those football games and stuff. People probably asking me. I didn't know there were black people out there.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I didn't know there were black people.
You said you raised horses. What have you learned about life from raising horses? I feel like they have a lot of lessons to teach us.
Horses are they're loyal, dedicated, and they depend on you for everything. And so I like horses. I like animals. I got 4. Matter of fact, I got Australian Shepherds dogs, and I got 4 Australian Shepherd dogs. They're herders, and Kathleen was the one that started off raising them, and so I ended up and Calvin, who you talked to, he's got 2 of the puppies, and so I ended up getting some real good dogs out of them.
So the last time we came, I remember all of the photos in your house, and I remember like the photo. I believe it was of your mom, and it was you, and yeah, like, and she had on like the hat,
Yeah.
and so why do you think that like she took to the like cowboy kind of culture?
Well, my mom was she was an amazing woman. She when she first came out here, she was determined to succeed, and so she wanted the best for us, and so she just fit right in. I mean, made herself fit right in. She didn't force herself on anyone, but she liked Western stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot. I still have that picture.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah. Do you have any like any just kind of like thinking about this statue here, and just like the photos that people can find of George Fletcher? Do you all have any like photos? So like, did you all ever take any photos with him?
George?
Mm-hmm.
No. If we did, my sister Judy,
Okay.
who lives in Florida, and she's coming out next week. Well, today she's flying out today, as a matter of fact, to Portland.
Okay.
And she has all the pictures. I mean, you got a trunk load of pictures that I haven't gone through them all.
Yeah, there are other figures, I was about George Fletcher kind of getting more recognition, especially with the installation of the statue. Are there other, I guess, like historic black figures in Pendleton you can think of that? Yeah, could be.
It really hasn't been. He was. I was surprised when they put the statue up. They made a bigger deal out of it than he was. George was a real easygoing guy. I mean, very, very. He was about 70 when I was growing up, and so I just remember shooting a 4-point buck up at his cabin up at Meacham. You know.
What is that? What is that?
4-point buck.
What does that mean?
It has 4 points on each side. The deer.
So you guys were hunters.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My dad was a hunter, fisherman. We hunted and fished and did what they do around there.
So you shot that up at his cabin, and what happened after that?
When he got sick, my mom took care of him until he died, but he just moved into town, and I went away to college. Yeah, I went to UNLV, Nevada, Las Vegas, and it just kind of dwindled after that.
What brought you to UNLV? What's that story? How did you end up there?
I don't know if you've heard of Clara Bow. She was the it girl. Well, a guy came to town. His name was Rex Bell Jr., and his dad was Lieutenant Governor of Nevada. And he was in town, and he went to Notre Dame. He was a big football nut, and I played football. And so he asked my mom if I could come to Vegas and I could stay with him and go to UNLV. And so I was in a hurry to get out of Pendleton, and so I said yes. And my mom, she wanted education is the most important thing to her than anything, and so that's how I ended up going to Vegas and staying with Rex.
So you said you were in a kind of a hurry to get out of here.
Yeah.
What brought you back?
It's realized that it wasn't all it was made up to be out there. It was it's nice, but I'm just a country guy. You know, you can't in the city is there's so much going on. In Vegas when I was there, Caesar's Palace was the end of the strip. That's where it ended. And now they've got I haven't been there in 30 years, but they've got a lot of stuff going on in Vegas now that what wasn't there. Rex has passed away, and I just like I like the country life. This is easy living.
One of the ideas we kind of wanted to explore specifically with this Eastern Oregon thing was just do you especially in the city area just stereotype in reverse, when you ask why would you be in Pendleton, but then you talk about you like the country life, this is your thing. So yeah, is it, I guess to form that into a question, do you feel that vibe kind of where people just
I think I've kind of gotten past that. I don't think about it anymore. I mean, if so, Calvin, my brother, thinks about it. He's 10 years younger than me, and he's more agitated by the things that went on than I am. You know, the things that I've seen so much go on, and so many injustices done. You know, even in Pendleton. I mean, you're black wherever you are. I mean, you get used to people looking at you and talking to you, and I know a lot of people here, and it's been good for me.
And your brother Calvin's also working on trying to get a street named after George Fletcher.
Yeah, he bought 6 acres at the top of Maine, actually, and he's trying to get the street named after George, and which he probably will, because he's pretty determined too. And yeah, and we've been he comes down every weekend. Matter of fact, he'll be down this weekend, and just building up and getting information.
Was there any kind of fight to get the statue up? You said it went up pretty easy, but
yeah, I was surprised at how they got George Fletcher, Jackson Sundance, who was the Native American. George hung out. He lived with the Indians mostly on the reservation. He rode and did most of his things that he did with the Native American. But he was a good cowboy. George was,
what makes a good cowboy anyway?
Well, physically you have to be in good shape, but he rode bucking horses. You know, he was a saddle bronc rider, and he was good.
A bucket horse?
Yeah, he rode saddle broncs. They call them saddle broncs, but they're bucking horses with just a pad on.
What type of horses?
Mustangs. Yeah.
So for those, yeah, sorry, I didn't know. I'm fascinated. But what, yeah, for some people who don't know, for city folks, like what are all the different sort of classifications of horses? You mentioned like bucking horses and Mustangs and different kinds of riding. Can you give us a brief overview of like what it is, like what riding is all about? Like,
Well, I think that I said I grew up riding horses. I mean, he put me on my first horse when I was about 8 years old, and it's just people in the country, they have access to horses, and so there's saddle bronc, and then there's bull riding, and there's Mustang. You know, the tie downs. They have a lot of different things that they do with the horses. You know, that make a roundup. They've added more than it used to be, but that's if it wasn't for the roundup, Pendleton wouldn't be here.
yeah, so it's competition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so this year, do you know? Are there? I mean, I think of other professional sports teams. Like, has there been like over the past couple of months? Is there like a end of the season? Is the Pendleton Roundup part of like the Super Bowl of
Rodeos, yeah.
competition?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's where all the cowboys want to come because one thing, the money, and it used to be where you just won buckles and everything, but now they pay you pretty good. And there's 3 or 4 Curtis. There's been a couple of who was the Christian cowboy? Charlie Sampson. He's out of L.A. He was only about 5'7" tall, but he was a bull rider, and they just stand out.
You said it gets pretty wild around here.
Yeah.
Around Roundup time. Can you just talk a little bit more about like what does that look like?
Well, this whole main street, they close it off, and you can only go through town. You can't stop, and they have carnivals going on. They come here every year specifically for that.
If there was anything, I know you don't have a whole lot of time, and if there was anything that we should see while we're here to get a sense of like what your experience in Pendleton has been like, what are the places and sort of landmarks that are meaningful to you that we might want to see?
Oh, the Roundup grounds. Have you been there before? The Roundup grounds. It's an amazing place. It is one of the nicer ones in the country.
Any other spots or places that are meaningful to you?
No, not really. I go out of town when I want to go.
Is the place where George Fletcher lived, like the building, is it still standing?
Well, and I was talking. There was a guy, Jimmy Clark, who's a Native American, who was going to show me the way up there, but he got all busted up. His knees are all jammed up, and he knows exactly where it is because he knew George too. He's probably 3 years older than me, and he knew George. They used to hang out because George hung out with the Indians.
So is it a bit of a mystery? I mean, is he obviously this legendary? He's legendary, but is there any like you said, you don't know exactly where, you haven't been up there?
Yeah, I used to go up all the time, but it's so many years ago that I went up there, and they've fenced it off, but you can get in there if you know the mountains.
And are there a lot of people who try to get up there to go see the explorers or history folks? Or
No. It's pretty isolated.
So if I wanted to 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 try to get to that building, I would have to talk to like Clark. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Jimmy Clark.
Okay.
Yeah, he knows where it is because his dad and mom, he grew up here too,
Okay.
and his dad and mom, they lived in the mountains, so they were all back then. This was the association. It was blacks and Indians, and basically that's what it was.
Is there anything, talk about that relationship between sort of Black Americans and Native folks who are out here. You said that George spent a lot of time with them?
Yeah, George spent a lot of time with the Native Americans. It's either that or nobody at all, and they were the ones that were doing the rodeoing. You know, most of them. Jackson Sundown is Native American, and he was a cowboy too. And so mostly that's what they did. You know, they just hung out with the cowboys, did what cowboys do.
That's what I got in questions.
Parade. Well, they have a parade every year.
Yeah.
And have kids.
Okay.
And this year they have a black woman who her dad lives here, but she lives in Portland, and she's on the Happy Canyon, which is the Native American court.
Okay.
They
Wow.
have a court with Native Americans, and they put on a Oldsmobile Wild West show at the right up there. And that's where everything takes place.
So you know how we could find out like some more about her, or is there like a name of?
Yeah, her name is Julie Rowell.
Okay.
Rowell.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would love to take. I mean, I've been already taking pictures, but I would love to take a few more like in person. Yeah. Sorry. Oh no, you're good. Could I? Or yes, yeah. Could I get you two together, and then I'll get individual. So yeah, just right in there. You on the other side, kind of like before. Thank you. All right. Head up a tiny tiny bit. Okay, yes, perfect. Got a little light on your eye. And then a little bit more again. Oh, yes, that's perfect. Thank you, thank you. Oh, that's great. With your face. One more. Thank you, thank you.
So what's next? So you're touching it. Oh, yeah. How do you feel?
Good.
You good about it?
Yeah. To the outside? Okay.
Who wants to stay just how far away?
On the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Done with this part. Oh, we're gonna install you to your house, and we can keep the. Also, we'll turn it off. We'll go around. Good.